Rilakkuma and Kaoru is a show lurking in the backwaters of Netflix, a place you don't typically go, a place where shows like Kakagiri and B-Stars congregate, a place where you look for a few seconds and then decide to watch the newest K-drama Netflix has shilled out. But I believe Rilakkuma and Kaoru deserves more than this. It belongs in a category of its own. This was a stop-motion animation that took 9 months end to end to shoot and edit, as stated in the Netflix behind-the-scenes documentary of making Rilakkuma and Kaoru. All to deliver a loving bear, its partners, and their owner onto your screen. Why did something like this exist out of the stagnant marsh of Netflix? We'll take a look at that as you sit back and relax. Kaoru is a late 20s to early 30s single female living in Tokyo, Japan with her 3 roommates, Rilakkuma, Rilakkuma, and Kiritori. 2 are seemingly related bears, and a pet bird who's just a little more organized than Kaoru. Over the course of a year, we see Kaoru's impasses in life be met with her anxiety-filled solutions that seem to meander towards change throughout the 12 episodes of the show, quickly met through it with Rilakkuma's coarse yet soft view of the importance of relaxing in life. As a single female living away from her family in Tokyo, her life seems to be fixed to trying to work longingly towards independence in different aspects of her life. Whether this is shown through her mania with the delivery man to be her boyfriend, or a self-centered boss who finds ways to shun her financially. These events pile up in Kaoru's self-reflection and how the world imposes these responsibilities frantically on her. More of this works towards how Kaoru learns to control this change. This control leads to her frustration. All these events seem to lead towards a main theme of oppression that arcs throughout the year, or more importantly, 4 seasons of Kaoru's adult life. Her challenges in life seem to focus on the idea of despotism. Despotism, according to Oxford Languages, is defined as the exercise of power, especially in a cruel and absolute way. The real expression of this definition is very evident when events pile up in Kaoru's life, like the tidings of everyday troubles at her work. Some of these examples are socializing attempts made with her more popular and fashionable co-worker, alongside fading bonds with her friends earlier in her college life. Also, nearly every other episode, Kaoru's boss gives news that all the employees continue to receive cuts, a salary cut in the first episode, and no Christmas bonus near the end of the show. This is bad news to the audience of 2 bears and a bird in her apartment when she gets home from work. What's more is, at the same time, Kaoru seems to be going through separation from her once loyal friends earlier in her life. An early example of Kaoru's abandonment is when she plans to attend a sakura picnic during their blossoming period with these old college friends. But after she leaves the picnic and arrives early to set up, she gets suddenly notified by her quote-unquote friends that they have all postponed and had to cancel. This depicts Kaoru being abandoned by her once loyal friends, shunned by the face of change, while all she wanted to do was share a delightful picnic with her old buddies. What else would she do but expect her friends to go to the thing that they planned along with her? She instead is led to stay in her chosen spot and get publicly drunk. Kaoru, in the beginning, attempts to solve these misfortunes by going into pet stores to view all the cute animals on display. But then she realizes their life is just as empty as hers. Worth of the living thing even goes down when it comes to animals. It must apply to her too. This shouldn't apply to someone who's doing everything right. This unknown source of punishment seems to be taking over Kaoru's life, and throughout the 12 episodes, she can't seem to figure out why. Although this pain and unknown punisher seem to be never ending, Kaoru is able to find an outlook in a warm place. Her answer to this nihilism seems to be given as soon as she enters her apartment after work. Rilakkuma, Rilakkuma, and Kiritori come to embrace her after her disgraceful day of work and to put an end to her tiring, embalming whatever hatred Kaoru had for the world. The show covers multiple points of being taken advantage of in life, as well as how each of us deal with it differently. It covers multiple characters who seem to be at hard stakes with life, with Kaoru's kid neighbor Tokyo, who has a lonely home life away from school when his mom is off at work. Several side characters also exhibit a similar distasteful and mournful attitude towards the world, such as the ghost girl in one of the episodes. This ghost girl gives a sudden appearance after power goes out during a storm at dinner with the party of Tokyo, Kaoru, the 2 bears, and Kiritori. She claims to show up because of her dislike towards bears after her boyfriend before she died was supposed to go to the zoo with her to see some. Rather, after her freak accident of being run over by a truck and killed instantly. Her high school boyfriend instead finds another girl immediately after to fill this position. With this outlook, Kaoru seeks to resolve this hurt by generously letting the ghost girl kick Rilakkuma, Not without a couple of humming interjections by Rilakkuma, though. This shows Kaoru's understanding and empathy for the dead girl, a likeness and destiny for two girls seemingly lost in neglect. She seeks to give the girl an understanding of how lessons are given in life, how we don't know how to deal with our feelings, but we must experience them all the same. A fortitude Kaoru has with all the putting to the side she has dealt with in her life, whether this be her friends never introducing her to their husband's friends, never quite getting the right guy's attention, or bad and unresolved family matters. Her wisdom led the ghost girl to understand how to let go of a grudge, letting go of living the life she had already died in. This put both of their nihilism in full resolve. Both girls show how one shouldn't give in to the problems that so-called powers in life put in our way. Rather, it's to embrace them for what they can give us, and not let them discourage one's own willpower. Confronting these hardships is the only way we can see clarity in life. In other words, we create our own power with what we're given. The episode ends with a dead girl embracing Rilakkuma after she admitted she couldn't kick him because he was too cute. Yet another automatic win for the Bears. This idea of despotism and nihilism plays heavily with recurring figures throughout the show. The most seemingly friendly and reappearing is Kaoru's co-worker Sayu, who plays a role throughout the show of defining what is normal/trendy in the world for middle-aged Kaoru, and how she contrasts so heavily from it. Most of these standards include consistently having a boyfriend and how to be the ideal woman in the modern world. This holds power over Kaoru's self-view and makes her question what she's doing wrong as she's constantly singled out from her peers. It puts her in situations where she doesn't know what she's doing wrong compared to everyone else's success at her age, like her famous chef college friend with a TV show, her friends with happy families, and some others with healthy relationships/boyfriends. This self-doubt is explicitly shown in one of the episodes as Kaoru overhears her coworkers, Sayu and Mika, another female office worker seated close to them, talking about holding a group date outside of work in the bathroom, when Kaoru is brought up as an invitation, but Sayu and Mika immediately play it off and laugh her off. They claim her as too serious for them, but compliment her as a very competent worker right after. Why did she get nodded off but get complimented for something she didn't even want? She does everything the world expects of her, but does not seem to hold up to anyone else's standards. This leaves her in the bathroom stall, stroking her hair, the role giving her less answers than before. This show deals with these types of questions as Kaoru questions her self-worth and considers her nihilistic approach to life, as is typical in many fellow salarymen and salarywomen in contemporary Japanese society, shown in this series. As if that wasn't enough, less noticeable, Kaoru's mom, another key figure in Kaoru's life, seems to play an important and big role for Kaoru amidst all this. Occasionally throughout the show, as just a reminder when she starts to forget, Kaoru receives a call from her mother detailing the progress of their family's life, driving on points on how Kaoru can improve and how she can help her family instead of what she's doing now in Tokyo. These calls continue to serve as nothing but a reminder of what Kaoru is doing wrong in life among her peers and loved ones, her family member/younger sister, for example. The example her mother holds over her head throughout the show is the promise of her sister's sparkling cherry wine business, an unsuccessful startup in the beginning and a major success in the end. This is something her sister is obviously worse at than her in the beginning, but nonetheless, she is still treated like the problem child. Without a word of response from Kaoru, she ends the call, as if anything she said wouldn't have mattered. This leads Kaoru to question how she can help all these things falling apart around her when she just realized what was happening. A normal person with a normal life couldn't handle all these responsibilities by themselves. This doesn't matter. Kaoru's party of bears in Bird can help her solve this, like always. Who and what can solve this idea of unknown sovereignty over one's life? Rilakkuma and Kaoru as a series seems to find a reliable way to confront these seemingly endless problems. Whether she follows Rilakkuma's way of eternally relaxing or Kiritori's obsessive concentration on household problems, Kaoru finds a sustainable way of living by accepting what's given. Life isn't what we're thrown, it is what we make out of it. In other words, the only way we can fix these unknown and unfair powers of the world is confronting the problems they try to strangle one with open arms. Through this, one can see its uses, and once you don't concentrate on its low points, its high points become blinding. How could we have all these celebrations and milestones in life if we didn't grind for them along the way? Who would want a life where you're given the same result every day and celebrate it? That doesn't sound very entertaining. This repurposing is the only power one has in this situation, and it can be way more powerful than any idea of pessimism that one has thrown. Finally, why must one go through all these mysterious troubles in life, as well as all the lowly people who send them their way? The answer is not always quite what we expect. We play through the scenery in life with nothing but a flashlight to point in the direction we are led to go, and most of the time, it doesn't seem fair to the path we're given. Rilakkuma and Kaoru seems to find the shining light in this process, whether this be through having fever dream winter celebrations with a secret society of neighborhood snowmen, going on a cross-ocean tour to Hawaii for a concert, or letting a panda from the outer recesses of the galaxy stroke your fur. Without effort, Rilakkuma always teaches Kaoru better ways of handling when things grow heavy on one's mind, almost all the time relaxing in the face of struggle. Alternatively, life isn't meant to be heavy. Life, as the bears and birds show repetitively throughout the show, is about accepting what you're given and not pondering on what could be better. With this philosophy, the mysterious powers of the world are there to give someone meaning to their problems in life, not make them feel helpless and useless. That these harsh and dark places one becomes familiar with are what give one knowledge when that flashlight that guides starts to go out. Over the 4 seasons in this 12-episode series, Kaoru leads for these bears, in tyrannical bird, as they live just as equally for her, with no safer imbalance. Finally, Rilakkuma and Kaoru seems to seek to give you one thing to understand through its short run time. Let's take the good things one step at a time, because that's all we can control in this world. In bear terms, let that coarse but soft fur of the world comfort you, not focus on the bad.
Wakaru んじゃない